Charging by induction, which is the third method of charging. Consider an electroscope. The electroscope is an apparatus used to detect whether an object is charged or not. Its setup is: an electroscope is made up of a couple of thin metal leaves that hang down near to each other. The leaves are connected to a metal rod upwards. The rod ends up at the top with a knob. So remark here, the whole apparatus is usually insulated from outside effects by being in a glass container or a metal container with a mica window to look into the leaves. A rubber stopper insulates the rod from touching the metal container. So as you can see here, if this is a metallic container here and the stem is also metallic and they're kept in contact, then the charges will flow into the container. That's why there is a rubber here that insulates the stem from the external container. Charging by induction. Case A. Approaching a positively charged object. So, what is the point of an electroscope? Instructions here. To induce charges, drag a charged rod to move it near the upper disk. To conduct charges into the electroscope, touch the rod to the upper disk. So let's start by dragging the positively charged rod. Initially, the two leaves down there that are orange in color are dangling. As I approach the positively charged rod, we can see that the leaves repel each other. What does this mean, and how can I explain this observation? By approaching a positively charged rod to the knob of the electroscope, the electrons in the leaves are attracted and pulled upward by the rod. We know that initially all matter contains protons and electrons, and that the protons are jailed within the nucleus. However, the electrons are left free to do interactions with the environment. So now when we approach a positively charged rod here, the electrons that are present in the atoms of the leaves are attracted towards the knob. They are pulled upward towards the knob where they accumulate there. So now the knob gains electrons and becomes negatively charged, while the leaves lose electrons and become positively charged. So having the same sign, both are positive, the two leaves repel each other. Now as for the second one here, the second case here, in which we start by approaching a negatively charged object instead, what happens? Upon approaching a negatively charged rod, the electrons of the knob are repelled and the knob loses electrons that are pulled downwards towards the leaves. So we consider here the leaves to be gaining electrons. Now because the leaves gain electrons, this means that they become negatively charged. So gaining electrons means they become negatively charged. Having the same sign here, which is negative, they repel each other. So you are responsible to fill in the blanks based on the explanation that I've just said. What's the point of the electroscope? An electroscope is used to measure or to determine whether an object is charged or not. So as you can see here, whether I approach a positively charged object or a negatively charged object, the two leaves repel each other. This means that the approached objects are charged. However, if I approach a neutral one, nothing happens and the leaves remain dangling. This means that this approached object is neutral.